All right, with this one, I'm gonna take you all the way back to late 80s or 1988 to be precise. And I have a lot to say about this model. Hey guys, welcome back to a Kicks Reasons channel. And today we are looking at the Nike's Alpha Force 88, what they call now, or back in the day, they were just called Alpha Force Low. Released back in 1988 in a lot of colorways at the time, but most memorable colorway for me is this one. Not just because it was so iconic, the color combinations between white, black, and red, which I absolutely love, but this shoe was worn by so many players on court during that time at NBA. Even MJ laced up these for a game, many other players as well. But initially when that shoe released as a retro, first of all, I was very surprised that they're bringing it back. Second of all, looking at the materials, even in pictures, I immediately knew this is going to be something that I want, and I really wanted to grab me a pair. And I'm so glad because I grabbed them under retail. You know how it goes. You wait a little bit, you look around, and you finally find the price you're willing to pay. And I paid slightly over $100. But for this pair, I'm super happy to spend this kind of money because we're looking at almost entirely made of genuine leather. Retro, which I absolutely appreciate, and I'm so happy when they first released. And I'm saying first release because now they have many other versions of this same shoe months later for some reason, and some of them are coming with the plastic leather that I absolutely despise. And I don't know what kind of game they're trying to play, but if you stick with the retro, you should have been releasing it with this kind of leather all the time, Nike, not with some plastic stuff. So if you're looking for this specific pair, make sure is the very first retro that dropped recently, the one with the genuine leather. Don't look at any of the new ones. Nike.com has them available, two different colorways. They're both made of synthetic. They're not these ones. So look around, make sure you're getting the proper one. So that's the only one that matters. The other ones, don't even bother, just get this one. So long story short, I remember late 80s when finally Nike, Reebok, and the other brands are starting to peak over at the Eastern Europe. First models that appeared were some of these, the Alpha Forces, the other flight models, the Flight 89, some other Force models, and generally all the kids, we wanted this because they were amazing. And of course, you know, everybody, even from movies, knew what that means, the swoosh over here or the vector. And naturally at the time, pretty much nobody can afford it. And a lot of people travel to Turkey to buy sneakers and jeans and stuff like that on the market. And of course, Turkey at the time was the #1 king of counterfeit and bootlegging different brands. So they were making this exact shoe, obviously not with a swoosh, something else. But I distinctly remember one of my friends bringing a pair from Turkey that featured that exact 4-foot strap right here with a hook and loop. They look almost entirely the same. It was different color. It was white and green. I didn't have the swoosh, but I always wanted that pair because it looked so nice. And even the bootleg ones at the time, they had a genuine leather toe box. You know, the rest of it was not. But again, that was my first kind of impression of real quote-unquote sneakers at the time. So long story short, shifting now in the future, we're almost 40 years later. We're looking at the shoe that really is coming back with the power of the latest love for the 80s retros. You guys seen, even I love some of those Via models and some of the New Balance models that are keeping pushed out currently, and they're kind of the new trend. Everybody's wearing them, everybody's enjoying them. Some of them are coming with excellent materials. I mean, the Via pairs and the pairs from New Balance are absolutely stunning, with again entirely made of genuine leather. And I guess Nike had to do the same thing. If we go to the details, you guys gonna see this shoe has made in genuine tumble leather all around. The only two portions that are synthetic that I can see is the swooshes, they're synthetic leather, and the other one is the faux leather on top of the ton. But if you look at images of the original pair, this is how the original pair was done as well. The top of the ton was synthetic, and this is the only concern. I mean, if this shoe was released with a genuine leather ton, this could last for a long time, despite the fact that the midsole is polyurethane, and originally it was polyurethane as well with encapsulated air on the heel. If you're wearing it, it's not gonna crumble anytime soon. If you keep it in the box, yeah, probably 12, 13, 15 years, depending on the conditions you are keeping them in, that polyurethane will crumble. But my plan for this specific pair is to wear it all the time, especially now fall time is here, winter time is here. These are going to be on my feet because I absolutely love the look, always loved the look, and always been mesmerized by that trend in the late 80s, early 90s with the hook and loop straps right on top of the toe box. This is something that at the time companies believed to keep your foot more content inside the shoe, and they were all putting these hook and loop straps that later they moved them up into the midfoot section or around your heel. But hook and loop at all the time was just Velcro because it was branded, and of course after that, and naturally after that, other companies started producing hook and loop straps. Of course, they could not call it Velcro because it's trademarked. But anyway, a lot of details in this shoe are kind of from that era, and one of the most memorable thing is obviously the top lace loops. There are the two that look like a number 8. I've mentioned that many times before. If you see similar shoes from the 88, from the 89, even 90s, runners, basketball sneakers, Nike was using that across their whole line. The other thing is the 3 lace holes that are right below. They're kind of made of plastic and then goes through the leather. That will obviously remind you of the Air Jordan 3, and also other models of the time. Again, Flight, Forces, they use similar cues right there. Interesting enough, at the time, most of the sneakers for basketball were very high tops, and those low tops were not that well perceived or looked at, but I always liked that one. And the other huge thing was stitching on the toe box. So stitching on the toe box was kind of a mid 80s and obviously early 70s, 80s, up until about 86, 87, and the companies were starting to move away from stitching all around, and they kind of shifted just on the front for the toe box for extra reinforcement. And this one actually has a lot more than that. It's almost to the middle of the shoe, especially if you look at the medial side, it's just a toe box, but if you look at the lateral side, it almost extends to the swoosh, or kind of the middle of the shoe. Again, stitching plus glue, these will stay like this forever. They're built like tanks, and especially with the genuine leather, you can kick rocks around and not even do any damage. On the top, we have the Nike and the Air. Again, encapsulated air on the heel. These are very comfortable when you put them on feet. I don't know what kind of air unit they placed inside, but they are very comfortable. The insole is Ortholite insole glued in with Nike Air right on top of it. Obviously, back in the day, it's not Ortholite, it was something else, probably Polylite or polyurethane. And the production date of these is April of this year. So very recently, again, they released into the summertime. And I'm so glad, again, so glad to grab this iconic black and red pair. The padding around the heel is significant, kind of on the denser side. I'm not sure what kind of foam they're using. It almost feels like a memory foam. Hopefully that's not going to create problems when you're wearing them for a long period of time. And on the tongue, we have the iconic Air Force logo. Again, at the time, I really like how Nike segmented their basketball line, with the Flight catered towards the lighter players, more mobile players, point guards and stuff like that, and the Force being the one for heavier, powerful forwards and centers. So that was really awesome. They had different logos, obviously, and it was one of the best logos they've created. They modified the logos over time a little bit, but still, I miss those things. Back in the day, when you had the Force and Flight, was excellent, and now we don't have that kind of stuff. We have just signature shoes and just basketball shoes, no Flight, no Force, none of that stuff. Unfortunately, I'm missing that. So hook and loop with the Nike rod in the front, and this is a rubber, kind of a hard rubber. Does it function today? Yeah, you can unhook it, you can put it back in. If you tighten it up, it will tighten your shoe, so you definitely feel some usefulness here if you choose for some reason to play basketball in these. Outsole is very signature for the time. Again, 1988, kind of reminds me for a lot of the basketball models, including the Air Jordan 3. We have Nike right in the middle. We have the signature stars. Those that know your Nike and Jordan models know what I'm talking about. The stars right in the forefoot, around your toes, that are super grippy when you are on the court. Man, these are just teeth. They're getting straight into the court. And then combination of gray black and red around the heel, and solid rubber, which is extending forward where the stitching is. So yeah, I mean, what can I say? These are absolutely iconic, and I'm so glad I'm finding these on the retail. And looking at the materials, I'm probably gonna chase another pair because I am a sucker for genuine leather and genuine materials. And when I hear companies, no matter who it is, telling me that they're releasing a shoe for 160, 170, 180 and more dollars, and yet they're not putting genuine materials of any kind on the shoe, I don't believe it. I'm sorry, but this shoe, I think the original retail price was 130, 140. And it comes with air unit and all around genuine leather. It's possible. Obviously it's possible. The rest of it is just corporate greed. And yeah, you guys are gonna hear me ranting about this all the time, but that's the truth, unfortunately. It's not that it's not possible. It's not that it's too expensive. It's just they choosing to make a bigger profit and give you subpar materials. But if you find something like this, put it on your feet and just enjoy it. This is a shoe that is so iconic, and genuine leather just looks amazing. No matter how much it creases, you beat it more, you wear it, you enjoy it, you do whatever you want, and it's still gonna look great. This is one of my favorite things back in the day, genuine leather shoes. You wear them for a year. You know, we could not afford more than one pair if you're even lucky to get one pair. And you wear them all around, you do everything in them, you play basketball, you're on the street, you're at school, you're getting stepped on, whatever. And at the end of the day, you just wipe them and they look amazing. Creases are great, believe me. They're not something you should be avoiding. Wear your shoes and enjoy them as much as possible. Alpha Force 88, super awesome pair. I'm so happy to grab them and enjoy them, and hopefully I can grab some of the other colorways. And I really think that Nike should be sticking to the genuine leather. So if I see any of the other colorways, the black and gray and white, or the black and blue and white, so whatever they release and has these kind of materials, I'm definitely grabbing it. So that's pretty much it, guys. Hit the thumbs up if you like the video, stay tuned to the channel, subscribe if you're new, check out some of the other videos coming very soon. I have tons of interesting pairs coming your way. Some of them are probably the most exciting releases to me for decades, so stay tuned to check those out. And as always, guys, you have a wonderful day.